Amazing. So just to let you know, this session is being recorded. Welcome to our June webinar. So happy that you could all come and join us. Please know that we will also be recording this session. So if you did want to share that with other team members, share the love. We're more than happy for you to provide that to your whole team. So today we have the wonderful Dave Perry here that we're working with to be able to do a demonstration of a new feature that we've just brought out, folders. So today we're going to show you the best way to create your folders. Now, just to let you know, to be able to see folders, we're actually providing them on an admin level. Should you not have an admin associated with your account, please contact support@eventdraw.com and our team will actually create an admin and also give you access to folders. Today, we're also just going to do a few tips and tricks. We're going to cover a few pieces, how quickly it is to use autofill to fill a room. We're going to do some staggered seating, some chevron seating. We've had some feedback recently that people didn't know or weren't using spacing, but that's a really great feature. So we're just going to cover that off. We also have using layers to do no build zones and a few pieces like that. And also, I think obviously this is your session. Please ask us questions. We love feedback. I'll be moderating the chat. So if you have anything that you'd like to ask, please pipe up. This time's for you and we want to make it really valuable. So I'm going to hand over to the fabulous Dave Perry Foster. Over to you, Dave.
Great. Thank you very much, Mel. Great. Well, so good to see so many people online today and very happy to show some new features and some existing features too that you may not even be aware of. So what I'm going to do first is, as you can see my screen here, just want to make sure, yep, that's all good to go. See my screen here, you will notice two new buttons. These buttons are Create Folder and Move to Folder. As Mel did mention earlier, though, you will need to be what we call a company admin. So please send an email to support@eventdraw.com, and that will create a ticket where we can allow you to set up a company admin. So very firstly, I've just used this example sort of screen here. This could be a number of your existing layouts or your existing spaces that you have sitting in EventDraw, and it's time now that you want to move those into and categorize these in a lot easier sorting format. So first thing I'm going to do is just going to do Create Folder. So if I click this button here, and because I don't have any other folders at the moment, I'm going to create one now. So for example, this venue might have various levels. So I'm just going to start off by putting level 1, and we'll go create. Okay. And while I'm there, I'm just going to quickly do another one, still under the home level there, and I was going to call it level 2 and go create. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel that. We'll go back into templates, and now you can see we've got two folders here, level 1 and level 2. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to go through my templates, and let's just say I want to grab all my level 2 plans. So if I've already got them named level 2 in the description, I can just simply type in level 2, and these will filter these plans here. By holding down the control key, if I hold down the control key, I can do multiple select. So as I put my mouse over the move to folder, it will also prompt me just to let me know by holding the control key, we can do multiple files. I'm now going to move that to the folder, level 2, and just go move. They have now been moved, and if I go back to the home up here, you'll now see I have 3 files in level 2. I don't have to do a search and filter those. I might just say, okay, well, all these plans here, I know these are all level 1 plans, and I also know I'm going to hold down the control key and select this plan right here. That's all level 1. So I'm just going to move to folder and go to level 1 and go move. Like so. Now I can see I've got 5 files sitting in level 1. I can also drill down further, so I might go into level 1 now and go, you know what, that's all well and good, but I might also have, max capacity plans that I want to put in there, or other subfolders. So again, I can just create a folder, select my level 1 or level 2, whichever folder you want to create the subfolder with, create, put max packs banquet, for example, and we'll go create. Okay, so now what we can do, if we went into level 1, we can now see that we've got another folder there, max packs. So we can then grab one of these and move it straight into that particular folder. So not only do we have folders for templates, we also have folders for saved layouts. So if we go into our saved layouts here, this is where you'll have a lot of your cloud saved plans for your clients sitting here. And again, this is where you can create your folders. From feedback from clients, we've found that a lot of them like to save them, say, in the months in which the event is occurring. They may also want to save it under the user's name, for example, David, or July David, or whatever. But just to give you an idea, if I create a folder now, and I'm just going to make this July 2023, and we'll just create that. And I'll just quickly create another one, August, let's do September 2023, X, and create. Okay, great. So I'm just going to cancel that, go back into templates, which does a bit of a refresh. And now we have our July and September. So again, like we did before, we can just go through now and select the plans that we want these to sit in that particular month. So I'm just going to go select those two, move to folder, and put it in July, for example. And away we go. So that's entirely up to yourself how you like to set up your folders for your save layouts. And again, you can set up subfolders in here too. So let me just quickly do one here now for July, and I'm just going to put David. Okay, cancel templates. And now when I go in July, I can got a folder for myself there as well.
That's great. Thanks, Dave. I know a lot of our larger venues are going to find that really powerful and easy to use. So thank you. That's great. And again, please, guys, if you don't have an admin associated with your account, or you can't see folders, please send us a ticket at support@eventdraw.com, and we'll make sure that we either create the admin or allow you access to folders. Fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you, Mel. Great.
So what I'd love to do, Dave, if it's okay,
sure.
A couple of, obviously we have training, unlimited training with EventDraw. We have a fantastic account manager and trainer, Winston Raza, who's actually on the call, who's more than happy to schedule in a time to, help you upgrade your usage with EventDraw. But for now, we thought we might just follow or show you a couple of tips and tricks, a couple of things that keep coming up in training that we just thought that we'll just show you. We've got wonderful Dave here to show you exactly how these features work. So what we're going to cover today is, like I said, autofill, staggered seating, chevron seating, some spacing, how to be able to use your inventory blocks, layers and no build zones, and maybe if there's any questions or anything that you would love to ask, we'd love to make this interactive, so please let us know. Over to you, Dave.
Great, thanks, Mel. So I've chosen this this particular room here. One of the great reasons about this is it does have a lot going on in this room. So for example, we have the operable walls that are here. So if we just go into my layer manager, by starting off with this plan, you can see that we can go through and turn off various operable walls depending on the configuration of this particular event. So if you do have your venue does have operable walls and they haven't been set up so far, please yell out to us, send an email, support@eventdraw.com, and we can get those set up for you very quickly on layers. So I'm just going to turn all these, I'll turn these operable walls back on again, just so we've got a nice different rooms there. And the first thing I'm going to do here is just do simply an autofill in one of the rooms. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to zoom in, control, and I'm using my wheel on my mouse to zoom in. So I'm just going to zoom into this section here, and I've got a text, so I can just move that out of the way. What I might do now is just simply type in a stage piece, and I'm just going to bring out one of the stage sections here, and I'm just going to quickly copy that across like so, and we might just copy that down as well.
Well, just a reminder too, guys, that text box is actually sitting in a layer. So should that should your OCD go, that's annoying, you can actually just remove it just on and off by removing that text or just turning off the text box in the layers.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just remove it right out of the way and just hit delete as well. Because it's a save layout, it's not going to affect the base template, so that you can always bring that back or create it again. So as I created this stage here, I might be sort of skip through different items as I come across them that I'll show you on the fly as well. As you can see, I just dragged out a piece and then I've copied these stages accordingly. Now, if this is something that I use a lot, I'm actually just going to type in lectern, and I'm just going to drop that on the plan there as well, like so. If this is a stage that you use quite regularly, for example, you may not be aware, but you can actually save this to your favorites. So I'm just going to select the whole lot and I'm just going to drag it back to my favorites, and I'm just going to call it a 6-piece stage. And we'll apply that. Okay, so that's there that everyone that's in your company, on your company account, will have access to this as well, so they'll be able to get the benefit of that. So now I've created my stage. I'm just going to now go into my tables and chairs, and I'm just going to drag out a banquet chair. So autofill, what you can do is by holding down by selecting the chair, just move it to one side, holding down the shift key, you can now auto fit and fill this room with these particular banquet chairs. I can then go through now and just simply create an aisleway, and now we've got that set up very, very quickly. If I select all these chairs again and I come up to my inventory report, it will tell me that I've got 250 chairs in that particular selection there. If I select everything in that area, it'll tell me that I've also got the stage pieces, the banquet chairs, and a lectern as well. So I'm just going to quickly do that again. I'm just going to move that chair to the side. I'm just going to delete those chairs there. Select that chair, hold down the shift key, and just simply fill. You can also use down the bottom, you'll see where it's got 26 by 10 and 260 shapes, so that you can use that as well to give you an idea of how many you're putting on the plan as you do that.
That's great. And I suppose what keeps coming up, which I think is really interesting, is that copy all the things. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make your workday easier by making sure that you can do those admin pieces really quickly and easily. So we've got the autofill feature. We've also got the, obviously copy the tables and chairs across, but now we can also add these shapes that you would use all the time to favorites. The folders are really going to help also with that copy all the things. So once you have those max capacity plans and you have those layouts, you can save them in folders and just go and grab them out straight away. So the whole idea is just to make your day quick. Michael's asked a question: how is the spacing between the rows determined? And that's a really great point.
Yeah, absolutely, Michael. Great question. So as part of setting up your favorites or as part of customization, or you can do it on the fly. So let me just move this chair out of the way. I'm just going to delete these ones here. If I select this chair on its own and I come up to modify table, just here you will see by default we have the copy distance of 5 centimeters, which can also, if you put your mouse over, you can see that you can also enter feet, inches, centimeters, millimeters. So currently the default for this particular item is 5 centimeters. So in this case, it would be going from left to right, so side by side, and 50 centimeters as an aisleway. So let's just say we change that. I'm just going to make it 2 inches going that way. And let's just make it say 20 inches coming down as well. And we hit enter on that. So now once I've done that, you'll see now that this is the new spacing using that 2-inch and 20-inch items just there. So now that I've done that, that's how that's determined for this particular chair.
That's perfect. And now, Dave, what happens when the client comes back and says, actually, I'd actually like to see the whole room set up with a wider space? So once all those chairs are set up, do you want to just show us how to modify the spacing between those chairs?
Yeah, sure thing. So what you can do is once you've set all those up, you can select the whole lot.
I might say they want 10 centimeters between each chair.
Yeah, no worries. So you can right click and you can go change spacing. And this allows you to change spacing. This is the change spacing for all these particular items. And again, you've got your options to use millimeters, inches, feet, etc. And so what we can do here is, let's just say we do, I don't know, 0.2 going that way. And we also might go, I don't know, 0.5. Let's just see what happens here and go apply. Now what that's done is that's spaced that out accordingly. And obviously, as you can see, because it's spaced out, you will need to remove some of these items in this case, because you won't be able to fit all those items in there.
We have a question for our setup team. Can you also show the distance between? And yes, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Now this does come up quite a bit, and we are actually working on a tick box option. So for example, so it will automatically show a dimension line for say the width and the length. But for example, as a manual process, if you just come up to your search shapes and you type in dim for dimensions, you can bring this out. And then what you can do here is actually, I'll bring out one probably better for this way. And then you can just go through now and just adjust that particular dimension to fit into that particular space there. And this will tell you the distance of that space. We can just reduce the size of that text if we want to as well. So we can sort of fit in like that. And you can also right click dimension units, and we might make it say in inches. So that will tell you in inches, for example, what that distance is in there.
And now what you can also do is you can then create that on a layer. So say you might not want the client to see that, but you need your delivery team to be able to see that. So you can just place those dimensions on a layer, which Dave is doing now because he's a magician. and then you have created one plan, but for lots of different members of your team, both internal and external. So whether it's your client or whether it's your AV team or whether your delivery team or whether your sales team, or you can use the same plan just using layers, makes it really powerful. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, do you want to just do just a quick staggered seating? Staggered tables, because that has come up a couple of times in training, Dave.
Yeah, sure thing. So with staggered seating, or staggered tables, sorry, what we can do there is, let's say we drag out our 6 foot, my favorite table, or the 1.8 meter table here, 72 inch. So currently we've shown you the autofill. So by selecting it, shift, and then autofilling a space, all well and good. The other way also is to stagger these settings. So by using your copy buttons, by copying these across, which also uses the distance of here, which is built into this particular table, we can move that across like so. Now to stagger this, all we need to do is use our copy buttons to go left down and left right. So that's how we can stagger the seating, and so we don't have the typical sort of left and right, up and down straight seating that you've probably seen before.
Amazing. And we have some feedback. Chevron as well, please, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was on our list, which is good.
Great. So I just, before I go into that, just very quickly, when I talk about the default spacing, so although you may pull a table out from the master shape, from the master list here, if your default spacing is say 6 foot, you can grab this table, you can change it to say 6 feet, or 2 meters, or however you want to do it. And then so you don't have to keep doing that further on, I can now drag this table that I've changed the distance to back to my favorites, and I can call it whatever I want, banquet table. And now I'm just going to delete these. When I drag this out, this will always be 6 foot now, because that's the default that I've set. So you can then rest assured that you're setting it to your venue's requirements.
Perfect. Let's do Chevron now, and then I have a question.
No problem. So Chevron seating. So typically before, as we were doing the copy buttons like so, straight, left and right, up and down. Before you start to copy, once you drag your chair out on the screen, just rotate it slightly. And then just by using the normal copy buttons, I'm just going to copy them down the screen, down the page here. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. I can do this. I'm now going to select all those chairs. And now I'm going to hold down the control key. And as I hold down the control key, you'll see how the corner or the diagonal arrows disappear. So I've only got these to use. And now I can start to copy these on an angle. And before we finish, I can now select all those, hold down the shift key and go copy right. And that will mirror those shapes on the other side like so.
Love it. So we have another question. How do you assign a shape to a specific layer?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just say we had this particular item here. You can go into your layer manager. So for example, let's say we had the whole lot. Do we want to put all this on a layer because you're not sure how you're going to set up your plans? You don't want to keep doing save as all the time. I'm just going to put here, say Theatre 1, and I'm just going to rename, and I'm just going to throw that on Theatre 1, and then I can remove it like so.
Excellent. And in fact, we have had a couple of clients that are using EventDraw and using layers for sort of max capacity or different setup options. It just means that while you're on a client meeting, you can just turn those on and off really quickly, rather than having to bring up, the different max capacity plans. So, if you want to learn a little bit more about that, let us know and we're happy to help. We have another question. As per DIM's, so we've done spaces to a layer. There's another question. We haven't had this one before. Is there a possibility of doing a circular seat?
Sure. So that is coming, where you'll be able to use curved seating and curved theatre style arrangements as well. In our legacy product, we did have that as a feature, and we're bringing that over to EventDraw as well. So that'll be something that you will see before the end of the year.
That's amazing. And I think that's a requirement for some stadiums where they have these beautiful rounded rooms. So I actually have seen that in development. So thanks, Dave. That'd be great. I'm sure I'll be looking forward to that. The other thing I wouldn't mind going through is, I know we sort of very briefly touched on inventory. Do you want to just talk about layers and no build zones?
Yeah, absolutely. So for example, with our layers, and again, think of layers as something that you can use as many layers as you like. Things like in this case, we have projector screens that you can add to layers that you may not want to show all the time. So that's projector screens there. Things like no build zones as well. So if I just click on the no build zones, as you can see in this particular floor plan, we do have the no build zones here. So again, if I was creating this plan, I would have turned those no build zones on first. And actually what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move that down by holding the shift key. It just keeps it in a straight line as well. And I'm just going to move it just outside of that no build zone there as well. So at least now I know I have that clear for that space, and so we don't build in that particular area. You can certainly add all those sort of areas in layers there.
The other thing probably we could cover, Dave, is maybe we could have a look at table numbering. I know you did a little bit of that before, but
yeah, sure.
And
absolutely.
Modifying tables and sort of creating new tables is something that probably people like to see.
Great idea. One of the things, so we're going to use our banquet table that we saved to our favorites earlier. It's going to bring this out here. So yes, the interaction, yes, you can change the distance. You can also change the chair. So I might want to go 9, I might want to go 8, etc., etc. I'm just going to copy a few across here. Just going to copy a few down at the same time, keeping it out of our no build zone, of course. And I don't have to do one by one. I'm going to select the whole lot now, go up to our modified table, and I might make all those 9s, for example. Taking that a step further, I might want to go cabaret. So by clicking the cabaret button up here, and I might go, say, 7 chairs, and I need it to face sort of facing up. So I'm going to use my rotation angle, and I can use these toggle buttons here to do it like this, or I can just simply type in, say, 90 degrees, and that will then face it that way. While I've got those selected, I'm going to go up to numbering, table numbering, and this is where I can also go through and choose which way I want to number those particular tables. So I'm just going to go that way, and I can just take that one step further. I might want to show some additional information on those tables as well. So I'm just going to include the number of chairs around those tables and also the chair numbers themselves as well. In saying that, Mel also mentioned creating your own tables. Absolutely. So by going into, like we did before, modify table, you'll see another tab that's just on the right hand side here, which is called designer. I'm going to click on designer, and I might say, look, I can certainly create a whatever size round table that I want. Let's do a rectangular table. My measurements here have defaulted to meters because I have my settings up here defaulted to meters, but if you change yours to feet, yours would come in there as feet as well, so that's not a problem. But let's just do a 2.4, and we've got a special table that's coming in this weekend, which is a 1.1. We know we can fit a maximum of 4 up the top, so I'm just going to set a maximum of 4, but by default I'm just going to do 3 here, and also just 1 on each end. And if I go create, that table is now created, which I can now save back to my favorites, and I can name that to whatever I like as well there. The reason why we set those maximums, I'm just going to apply that. I'll show you why. So if I just drag that back out and I go to my tables info, we set a maximum of 4, and that's why, and that won't give you any more than 4. So if you've got obviously your team that you want to make accurate plans, they won't be able to add any more than 4 chairs to that particular table.
That's awesome. Another one that I think is quite interesting that we've created is the room blocks. And I know that if you go into special shapes, Dave, we've got a couple of room blocks that are just ready to go in favorites.
Yeah, sure thing. Absolutely.
Bring that up and show. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries at all. Sure.
Yeah, there's a few in there. I think they're under basic shapes.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Here we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what we've got here are dynamic fields, I guess. So you can say drag out a drawn by, and that's automatically put my name in there. I just happen to be David Demo Folders. And you might have, this is ones for US dates, for example. So plan revised that you can drag out as well, which is date stamps the plan automatically. Or you can bring out, say, a group of those as well. So that's just a whole group, a drawn by, the name of the floor plan, which automatically is created, and the revised. So that's which you've also got there for US based clients as well, which shows their dates in this particular format. So you can certainly add that to the plans as well.
So I suppose as we're closing up, because I know that everyone's had either a busy day or moving on to their busy day, I just want to thank you so much for joining us today. I know your time is really important, and we're here to help. We're here to serve you. So I hope you found the webinar helpful. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. If there's something that you see in EventDraw that you think, oh, I'd love to do that, please let us know. We base all our development on your feedback. So, please let us know if there's something that you would love to see. We'd really love to hear from you. Also, if you do need more support and training, please feel free to contact us. If you contact support@eventdraw.com, Winston can pick up that ticket and be able to contact you. Lauren just had a quick question. Can you save those amended tables in the shapes folder for future use? Yes, you can. So basically you just pull it over, put it into favorites, and then put a name for it, and then it'll be there for your team. Can you also do those measurements on the diagonal? I think probably what we'll do is we'll create a ticket for that, David.
Yep.
Is that okay? And Mike will get our support team to come back to you and show you how to do that. Just to let you know, you will all be sent the recording. Oh, actually, it's a few people that want to know. So do you want to just show that, Dave?
Yep, that's the dimensions on diagonals, do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So all you need to do, once you just, if I just bring one of those out.
Yep. And then you can just rotate it.
Yeah, just rotate it around like so. And then you can just point to one area to the next area like so.
You're a miracle worker, Dave.
I try my best.
So thanks very much, guys. You will get this recording. It'll come out within the next 24 hours. Please feel free to share it with the rest of your team. And we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Thank you so much. Just a sneak peek, the next webinar will be really showcasing 3D. So we've got done a lot of development around that. It's quite mind-blowing. So we know you're going to love it. Thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful good evening, good day, good night. Bye-bye.